warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Keke Aprilia, NPM 2018015000250. Now I want to explain a little bit about guidance and counseling principle. What is guidance and counseling principle? The principle that comes from the origin of the word principle. Wise means starting in a certain way give birth to other things. The exercise of which depends on the beginner. This principle is the result of a combination of theoretical studies and direct field theory which is used as a guide and the intended implementation. The principle of guidance and counseling describes the basic point of the thought that are used as guidelines for the implementation program or the rules of the games that must be followed in the implementation of the guidance service program, and can also be used as a set of integrated theory and practice results that are formulated and the practical basis or rules of the game that must be followed in the implementation of the guidance and counseling service program in the school. Praitno said that the principle in the result of theoretical studies and field studies that are used as guidelines for implementing something intended. So, from the opinion above is can be concluded that the principles of guidance and counseling are used guidelines as well as the basis for service delivery. There are various guiding and counseling principles. Number 1, principle regarding service objective. The target of guidance and counseling service is individual, both individually and in group. This individual vary greatly. For example, in general terms, gender, family, socioeconomic status, possession, rank, and position, attach to particular institution, and other variants. More specifically, the target of service in general is the development and life of the individual, but in more real and direct manner are the attitude and behavior. Individual attitudes and behavior are strongly influenced by aspects of personality and self-condition, as well as environmental condition, personal and environmental aspects, as well as attitude and behavior in their development and life, encourage the principle of guidance and counseling as follows. A. Guidance and counseling serve all individuals regardless of age, gender, ethnicity, nationality, religion, and socioeconomic status. B. Guidance and counseling deal with individual attitude and behaviors that are from various aspects of a complex and unique personality. Therefore, guidance and counseling service need to reach the unique and personal complexity of individuals. C. To optimize guidance and counseling service according to individual need, it is necessary to recognize and understand the uniqueness of each individual with variant, strength, weakness, and problem. D. Every aspect of an individual's complex personality pattern contain factors that potentially lead to imbalanced attitude and behavior pattern. Therefore, guidance and counseling service aimed at developing individual adjustment to all of experience must consider various aspects of individual development. Although one individual and other is similar in many respects, individual difference must be understood and considered in the context of effort aimed at providing a sense of guidance to certain individuals, be they children, youth, or adult. 2. Principle connecting individual problem. Factors that have negative influence will cause obstacles to the continuity of development and individual life, which eventually cause certain problem in the individual. The problem that arise are 1,001 kind and vary greatly, both in the type and in intensity. Ideally, guidance and counseling service want to help all individuals with these variant problems. The principal relate to it are A. Although guidance and counseling service reach every stage and area of development and individual life, the field of guidance is generally limited to matters relating to the influence of an individual's mental and physical condition on his adjustment at home, at school, and in relation or social contact and work, and conversely, the influence of an environmental condition on the mental and physical condition of individual. B. Unfavorable social, economic, and political circumstances are one of a kind factor in the individual, and they all demand careful attention from counselor in alleviating client problem. 3. Principle concerning service program. Guidance and counseling service activities are either carried out independently or program. Counselor provide service to them directly according to the client's problem when they come. Counselor do not provide special program for them. The principle regarding the guidance and counseling service program are as follow. A. Guidance and counseling is an integral part of the education and development process. Therefore, guidance and counseling program must be structured and integrated in line with the overall education and development. B. Guidance and counseling program must be flexible, adapted to the condition of the institution, individual and community needs. C. Guidance and counseling service program are prepared and carried out continuous for children to adults in school, for example, from kindergarten to university education. D. On the implementation of guidance and counseling, regular assessment should be carried out to determine the extent of the result and benefit obtained, as well as to determine the suitability between the plan program and its implementation. 4. Principle regarding service delivery. The implementation of guidance and counseling service, both incidental and programmed, begin with an understanding of the purpose of the service. This goal will then be realized through a certain process carried out by experts in their field, namely professional counselor. Cooperation with various parties, both inside and outside the various place where he works, needs to be developed optimal. The principles regarding their method are: the ultimate goal of guidance and counseling is the independence of each individual. Therefore, guidance and counseling service must be directed the developed client to be able to guide themselves in dealing with any difficulties or problem they face. B. In the counseling process, the decisions that are taken and want to be made by the client should be on the client's own volition, not because of the will or pressure of the counselor. C. Specific problem experienced by client must be handled by, and if necessary, transferred to expert in the field relevant to their specific program. The specific problem. D. Guidance and counseling is a professional occupation, therefore carried out by experts who have received special education and training in the field of guidance and counseling. E. Teacher and parents have responsibilities related to guidance and counseling service. Therefore, collaboration between counselor with teacher and parent is very necessary. If teacher and counselor are in one service effort framework, therefore both must develop complementary roles to reduce ignorance and obstacles that exist in the individual student environment. G. In order to manage guidance and counseling service properly and as far as possible meet individual demand, a program of measurement and assessment of individuals should be carried out, and that data set containing the result of this measurement and assessment are developed and put to good use. H. The organization of the guidance program should be flexible, adapted to the needs of individuals and their environment. I. The responsibility for managing the guidance and counseling program should be placed on the shoulder of a program leader who is specially trained and educated and guidance and counseling education. In collaboration with staff and personnel, the institution where he is assigned and other institution that can support the guidance and counseling program. G. Periodic assessment need to be carried out on ongoing program. The success of program implementation is measured by looking at the attitude of those who have an interest in the program, provide both those who serve and those who are served, and change in the behavior of those who have served. 5. Guidance and counseling principle in school. In school, guidance and counseling services are expand to grow and develop very well, considering that schools are potential very fertile land. Schools have basic conditions that actually demand this service at a high level. Its students, who are in a growing stage of development, need all kinds of guidance and counseling service in all their function. What Bernard and Fulmer said that teachers are very concerned about how teaching takes place, while counselors are very concerned about how students learn along with that. Crow and Crow suggested that change in curriculum material and teaching procedures should include guidance rules. If the two things really happen, teaching materials and procedure based on guidance principle, coupled with close collaboration between teacher and counselor, can be truth that the teaching and learning process carried out by the teacher for the student will be successful. However, the hope for the growth and development of guidance and counseling service in school is often still in the form of hope. Guidance and counseling service officially exist in school, but their existence is not a desired. Belkin 1975 Exposition 6 Principle to enforce and develop guidance and counseling service in school. A counselor must start their career from the start with a clear work program and have a high readiness to implement the program. Counselor also provide opportunity for all school personnel and students to find out about the program to be carried out. B. The counselor must always maintain a professional attitude without disturbing the harmonious relationship between the counselor and other school personnel and students. In this case, the counselor must emphasize professionalism, but this avoid elitist or professional arrogance. C. The counselor is responsible for understanding his role as a professional counselor and translating that role into real activities. The counselor must also be able to best explain to the people with whom he is working with the goals the counselor is trying to achieve and the responsibilities that lie on the shoulder of the counselor. The counselor are accountable to all students, both failing, disruptive, potential dropout, emotional problem, learning difficulty, and gifted, potentially average, shy student, and withdrawing from the general public, as well as attracting attention or talking the face of teacher, counselor, and other school personnel. E. Counselor must understand and develop competency to help students who experience moderately severe problem and students who suffer from emotional disorder, in particular through the implementation of group program, teaching activities in school and out of school activities, and other form of other activities. The counselor must be able to work effectively with the principal, pay attention and be sensitive to his need, expectation, and anxiety. Counselor have a good opportunity to uphold the image of professional guidance and counseling if they have a respectful and caring relationship with the principal. This principal emphasizes that the enforcement and development of guidance and counseling service in school is only possible by professional counselors who know and want to work, have real and implementable programs, are aware of their profession, and are able to translate them into program and relationship with other people, colleagues, and other school personnel, have the commitment and skills to help students in all the variation in school, and are able to work together and build dynamic, harmonious relationship with school participants. Shock and counselor will not emerge by himself, but through the development and strengthening of strong professional attitude and skill, insight, and personal understanding. That's all from me, more or less. I apologize. Thank you very much for watching my video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.